Democratic Alliance's newly launched Know Your DA campaign focuses on the party's role in the fight against apartheid. Now, the ANC is upset about the campaign posters, saying the DA is hijacking its heroes. Today, the campaign video was launched. I'm joined by market strategist Clive Simpkins, who is an expert on all these communication issues. Clive, you've obviously had a look at the campaign. Your thoughts on it?
I find it a bit puzzling because if one thinks of what they've done in social media, for example, the penetration of Twitter is minuscule. So if that is meant to be getting to the bulk of South Africans, it's not doing that. If I look at the video that I had a look at today, I have to say, what are you trying to accomplish? It almost looks like it's seeking legitimacy.
Clive, it's a bit of a tough thing going head-to-head with a party like the ANC that has such a long and rich struggle history. How do you market yourself when you're comparatively a new kid on the block?
The bottom line to it is the DA has become known for delivery. Delivery is their platform, delivery is their mantra, delivery is their war cry. Why would we now go and take, in slightly shy of 13 minutes, a video in which half of it almost was dedicated to Helen Suzman? Another significant chunk of that was Helen Ziller in some shape or form, showing people like Nosipho Balendlela and so on. I looked at it and I thought, what would the strategy behind this be? It's almost like saying, look, you know, we deserve to be here. They don't need to do that. They are here. They're legitimate. They have a track record.
Helen Ziller is a journalist who worked towards righting the wrongs of apartheid in some ways. Helen Suzman, we know, has a wonderful history as an activist. Can you run a campaign based on the achievements of so few individuals, or do white women lack the same kind of political credibility if they're not aligned with the ANC?
Look, bottom line is this is kind of trading on past history. My view would be look forward. For example, in this video, and I really hesitate to say this because they've really worked so hard at it, but two things don't feature: any sort of association or amalgamation with the National Party, and the other thing is that Tony Leon doesn't exist. I mean, he has effectively been airbrushed out of 20 years of history with that party. I don't believe that's a good thing to do.
I mean, given that South African voters often still vote very emotionally and don't look at the facts and figures perhaps that one needs to be acquainted with in order to make an unemotional decision in choosing a party you vote for, do you think the DA was pushed backed into a corner as to why it was forced to use the strategy?
I don't think so. I mean, if we take last year's figures where they had something like 25% of the vote, that is not insignificant for an opposition party, given the ANC's track record and so on. So I would have focused on what they are doing and what they could continue to do. I look behind this for a strategy and I think, well, what is the message that you're trying to convey? It's almost a self-congratulatory pat on the back saying, we deserve to be here, we've earned our stripes, so let's show you that via Helen Suzman we earned our stripes. That, in my view, is not a really solid strategy at all.
Clive, many of these videos are going to go into homes. I'm told there are 30,000 copies. Many of them have been translated into indigenous languages. If you took one of these videos into the home of a rural voter in Nkandla, how do you think it would be received?
With great skepticism, I fear. You know, there's a huge difference between, and I don't mean that their video is propaganda, but there's a huge difference between propaganda as we know it, Soviet style or Chinese style, and people's experience. And what changes attitudes is one's experience with the brand, not the theory, not the advertising campaigns, not the billboards. It's what do I perceive and physically see as an impact upon myself in a positive way from that brand. That would do the changing. I don't think this is a great route to be going.
Is this going to harm the DA's campaign ahead of next year's election?
I don't think it's going to harm it. It certainly is ratcheting up the visibility, and even if it's only ratcheting up the visibility because of the aggro factor, because I found the social media component of it quite irritating. It was like a set of imbongis retweeting each other about the great things that the DA had done. I just think there could potentially have been better ways of doing it.
Clive Simpkins, very good talking to you. Thank you.
News that moves. eNCA.com.